If you haven't been punished because of your skin color before, then know that you've not really faced racism before. And of course, I know a whole lot of you have faced it, whether you're in Europe, you're in Germany, you are in US. Most people have faced severe punishments all because of their skin color, right? Watch these people, right? Watch them as they share their experiences. I'll be back with the commentaries.
Y'all want to know the fastest way to go to jail? Being black, like dead ass. It's the easiest way to go to jail, being fucking black. In these last few weeks, we done seen our black community get punished for no fucking reason. Gorilla went to jail because her house was literally fucking invaded. Her house was fucking invaded. They went to her house, they found marijuana. How the fuck I call you to figure out who got my shit? You flip this shit on me and I end up going to jail. What the fuck? All because she a black successful woman. It ain't because she a successful woman. It's because she's a black successful woman. Bakari Richardson is in jail for bullshit, G. Boyfriend said it was straight up bullshit and she's an amazing person and she don't deserve that shit. Why the fuck is she in jail? Her and her man got into it and a bunch of white folks all in black folks business went and called the motherfucking cops because they knew the cops was gonna work out in their favor. Be real, y'all. If the police pull up and it's a white man got a statement, it's a black man got a statement, who the fuck they gonna go listen to first? Who? All you gotta do is be black and have amazing shit going on for yourself. I'm speaking for myself and the whole black community. We are sick and tired of being sick and tired of bullshit. And don't let me get started on the black man who got punched in his fucking face. Literally being in his car for no motherfucking reason. First of all, the cops didn't even say a reason why they pulled him over. Second of all, they had no reason to use force, which was body slam him to the floor. Then not to piss me off even more, y'all. One of our people was in the fucking back helping them do that shit. We don't stick up for each other. Who the fuck will? Now, if the black man would have did something back, this would have been another George Floyd situation. Another black man that's unarmed getting his life cut shorter. The more we hold our peace is the most shit they're gonna keep doing and getting away with. None of this shit is okay.
Hi guys, good morning. Like seriously right now, I am so mad. I am so angry. Like I am, oh my god, kind of angry right now. So I've been looking for an apartment for some time, like for almost some years, not some time. And anytime I go to NJC or go to any private house, call them, when they just, oh yeah, you can call for an appointment. And the moment they know I'm Nigerian or I'm black, they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, the house is no longer available. Also, now they tell you, I cannot give you my house. I don't want to give my house to Estraneri because I don't trust Estraneri to pay rent. I don't trust Estraneri to maintain the house. Like, bro, are you joking with me right now? Are you serious? Are you serious? Like, are you really going to go to? Are you serious? You don't trust me with your house, but you trust me to take care of your disabled mother, your disabled father. You don't trust me with your house, but I'm the one taking care of your father whenever they are sick. For long years, I've been like for 4-5 years, I work as Badante, maybe caregiver in English. I work as caregiver. And then you don't want to know what I do. 24 hours, like you work 24 hours. I live with them. I cook for them. I clean for them. I feed them. Most of the disabled people, like they can't do anything. If they want to wee, it's me. They want to poo, it's me. Anything they want to do, it's me. Do you know how disgusting it is to put your hand inside someone's ass to take up those shit? Do you know how disgusting it is? Yes, I have to do it, but you believe me. You trust me with them. You trust me with your auntie. You trust me with your child to take care of them. You trust me with your disabled family. You don't trust me with your house. Like, how ignorant can you be? You don't trust me with your house. Oh yeah, why not? I'm going to eat up your house, but I won't kill your parents. Are you joking with me? You don't trust me, but most of the farm work, guess who they employ? Estraneri. They don't employ Italians. They only employ Estraneris because they believe we are the one that we can do the hard work, we can do the dirty job. All this hotel cleaning, they don't employ Italians, they employ only Estraneris. It's Estraneri that go to those hotel to clean those rooms, to arrange those rooms, to make the room look good for the next customer. You don't trust us with your house, bro, but you trust us to do those dirty job, right? Like, you guys are really ignorant. Like, this is annoying. And then you said you don't trust us to pay the house rent. How can we pay the house rent when I work for 24 hours? 24 hours. Like, you don't even sleep because at night when you are sleeping, they can start screaming. I want to wee, I want to poo, I want to drink water. You have to wake up continuously to go take care of them. And guess what? I normally do those jobs with my heart because I don't see these people as just white disabled people. I see these people like family because they are just someone that I need help. When I was taking care of the old man, I take care of him like my grandfather because I refuse to see them as just just my job, but I just see them as family. I took care of them with all my heart. Then I do everything, and you don't trust me to pay house rent. I work 24 hours. Guess how much I was paid? 900. For 24 hours a month, I received 900. Then how do you expect me to pay the fucking house rent if I receive 900? Many people do farm work, they receive 500, 600 a month. You eat their life, you eat from their hard job, you collect their time and everything, then you pay them chicken check, then you're expecting them to pay house rent. And oh my.
She didn't seduce anyone. She was just beautiful, and that alone made her dangerous. You want to know what made slavery even more twisted? Being pretty could get a black woman punished or killed. White slaveholders told the world that black women were ugly, masculine, and even dirty. But behind closed doors, they were obsessed, and the white mistresses knew it. So if a black woman had soft skin, delicate features, or was simply confident in her beauty, she was labeled a threat. Enslaved women were beaten for wearing bright colors, whipped for looking too alluring. Some were forced to wear rags or head wraps just to appear less attractive. And if a white man assaulted her, she'd still be blamed, because in their eyes, beauty was a weapon, and the black woman holding it was dangerous. And it didn't stop with slavery. To this day, black girls get suspended for their hairstyles. Black women get labeled too sexy or too loud just for existing in their brilliance. We are still being punished for our curves, our confidence, our beauty, because we were never meant to be seen as worthy and desirable at the same time. Drop a thumbs up emoji in the comments if someone's ever tried to shrink your shine. Tag a queen who walks in her beauty like it's armor, because we don't dim, we disrupt. And follow for more unstoppable stories untold.
You know, if you're black and live in America, you will always have a story about an experience that you had with blatant racism. So for those of you who don't know, I served in the United States Air Force. So the year is 1984, and I had been accepted to start boot camp for the Air Force, but I needed to wait for another 6 weeks. So during the time that I'm waiting to start Air Force, I take this temporary job through a temp agency. And the temp agency calls me and they say, we have an assignment for you at a law firm. So I prepare myself, and I'm always very professional, and I put on my professional attire, and I show up to the assignment. So when I get to the assignment, it's a very small husband and wife law firm. And so I arrive early, and I walk into the law firm, and I am met with the wife. And I say to her, I'm here from blah, blah temp agency. And she had an expression on her face that I had never seen before. But this feeling came through my body. So she was a middle-aged white woman, and her husband had not gotten to the office yet. So she tells me to have a seat. Now, this assignment was for me to sit in their front office as a receptionist. The receptionist who worked there on a permanent basis went out on maternity leave, so they went to a temp agency, okay? So she goes in an office that's adjacent to the receptionist area, and I could hear her. She didn't know I could hear her, but I could hear her on the phone, and she had called her husband, and she's trying to figure out how they're going to deal with this person in their front office. Shortly after, her husband arrives to the office, and he greets me, and then he goes in the office with his wife, and they try and gently let me know that my assignment has been terminated and that they have reached out to the temp agency. And I think I was there for no more than 30 minutes to an hour. Not one customer had arrived or anything of the sort. And I remember going home to my mom, and I was just like really confused. And you got to understand, I was 19 years old at the time, 18, 19. And I had never been so blatantly, treated in such a way. And so I told her what happened, and she gave me a really good talk about being black in America, and that this is the first of many situations that I'm going to have to unfortunately deal with. And in today's climate, it's much different than it was back when I was 19. We don't tolerate those types of behaviors. We speak out more. There's a lot more laws in place, and a lot of things that I don't know. I can't really say that it has diminished racism, but there's a lot more protections in place. Let me just say it that way. The reason I'm sharing this story today is that throughout my life, I'm going to be 60 here, and all of the successes that I've had in life, I went on to serve in the Air Force, and I had a very successful career. I worked my way up to a vice president at my organization, all kinds of things. But I never, ever forgot the look on that woman's face. And throughout my life and my career, I have seen that look. I've seen that look in the grocery store. I've seen that look, just walking down the street. I've seen that look at events. I know the look. We all know the look. Then to share my experience of blatant racism, and that when you see the look or you get that feeling that I got in the law office that day, it's a real thing. It's not your imagination. It's a real thing. Anyway, I love you guys. Have a great day.
I think this job market is particularly grueling because it's punishment. This feels like intense retaliation for the way Black women have been just dominating and excelling in corporate spaces and in government and in sports, especially the last 5 to 10 years. On top of all the DEI efforts being cut and being rolled back, cutting a large portion of the federal workforce, which we know is predominantly Black women, it feels personal. And even if we remove race from it, it feels like it is multiple fists punching down that are trying to get the working class back in line. Even go as far as to say the rise in being child free by choice, decentering men, all of it, for me, is factored into this aggressive push to make sure we understand that you're going to get a job, you need to work, you need us. And the things that you want are not as attainable as you think they are just because you're overqualified. That's what it's giving. I won't be gaslit. That is absolutely what it's giving. It's almost like powers that be have been hearing the overwhelming cries of women, particularly saying, well, we're not birthing babies for the oligarchy. We're not giving you another working class. And so they're saying, oh, all right, bet. You black bitch. Like, did I lie?
The word picnic actually comes from pick a nigga. The death penalty started as public lynchings that only applied to black people. Origins of the death penalty were to unalive only black people. Capital punishment was not even available for white people that committed crimes. They were held in public parks, led by local sheriffs, and they even had attendees that would picnic. So, don't say picnic. Between 1910 and 1961, the state of North Carolina executed 362 people behind Central Prison's closed doors. And 80% of them were, yep, you guessed it, black. So lynching is looking a little bit crazy coming into the 20th century. So they said, hey, let's just throw these black people into prison for vagrancy laws that aren't actually really crimes. And then we can execute them for crimes that they oftentimes didn't commit, according to data. If you don't believe me, fucking Google it. Black people made up 90% of the people that were executed for burglary and rape. A crime that white people considered the most racially transgressive. What the fuck does that even mean? So what ideas do you have about the ways we can respond to crimes that society deems so heinous? The only way we can seek justice is by taking that person's life. Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear.
Ever wonder why black people don't speak up when we experience racism? Spoiler alert, it's not because we're shy. It's because somehow we always get punished for telling the truth. Wild. That part. Here's the thing. We're told to speak out. Every time there's an issue, someone always says, just say something. But when we do, suddenly we're too angry or too sensitive. Because apparently, white discomfort is way more important than our basic human rights. Weird how that works, right? Because here's the truth. Every time we speak up, we risk our jobs, our safety, our mental health, and don't even get me started on the emotional labour of it all. And for what? For white people to act shocked or oppressed when they're called out? Nah. So when we stop explaining, when we stop teaching, suddenly it's, why are you so angry? Make it make sense. Black people are done teaching. We've been explaining this for decades. Now it's your turn to listen, learn, and act. Hit that follow button, because if you're not listening, you're missing out. This is where the real conversation starts. Don't get left behind.
The reality is, whether you want to admit it or not, we are just simply in the era of collective punishment. Ever since 2008, and we elected Barack Obama as our first Black president, everything after 2016 was collective punishment for letting a Black man into the White House. Ever since in 2020, we started speaking up for Black Lives Matter in a way that we have never done before, and made everyone post in solidarity, post their little black squares. Companies start their DE&I initiatives. Fast forward to 2024, they are taking all of that back, and we are now in a collective punishment for that. And lastly, in 2020 and 2021, when the job market was on fire and we all started quiet quitting and showing off our workplaces and how cool it was to work in tech and saying, I don't like this job, I'm just going to leave. Like, what we see now in our current job market is collective punishment for that. Everything that we're dealing with going into 2025 is all collective punishment for citizens in the U.S. finally getting the upper hand, especially Black citizens in the U.S. finally getting some sort of upper hand in the caste system or the sociodynamics of this country. And we are now seeing that they did not like that, and they are going to punish us without explicitly punishing us.
Hey, beautiful people. Thank you for tuning in to part 2 of the first Holocaust, or the Herero and Nama genocide, which is the first Holocaust of the 19th century and the first genocide of the 19th century. I left off explaining that Germany had a problem. Frederick Retzel, which was a geopolitician that was very much against anyone darker than him, had just introduced that Africa was fair game, and that nobody would fight them over Africa except for Africans, which they knew that they were more advanced then, considering that they had guns and tanks and bombs and shit, and Africa didn't. That was not Africa. They were very much more or less like spears, swords. They may have had guns, but definitely not as much as a established country like Germany. And I don't want to say Africa wasn't established, because some countries in Africa was, but Nama and the Herero tribes area and land, they definitely were not. They chose them because they didn't have any guns. They didn't have any type of barriers or artillery or anything to fight them. Listen to this. So before Frederick Retzel's ass was even involved, in the early 1880s, listen to what I'm about to tell you. England, Belgium, Portugal, France, Asian, and Middle Eastern countries used some of the most brutal regimes to steal African lands and colonize the system, or the citizens. This is by the 1880s. This is before Frederick's ass even realized that, hey, there's land, there's people over there we can kill, and land we can steal. This was called the Scramble for Africa, which is just what it sounds like. White people saw that this land was up for grabs, and they scrambled for Africa. When I say the most brutal regimes, I'm going to go into some of the things that other countries did to establish themselves and colonize Africa. But for now, we're talking about Germany and the Nama and Herero genocide. But this has been going on for some time. So the Nama and Herero tribes were kind of like some of the last ones left, right? And they started to realize that other countries weren't getting any backlash from other countries for fucking with these African people. Now, this was Germany's in the game, okay? They realized, okay, we got a foot here, we got some footing we can use, and wiggle room to use here. That's when a white man named Kaiser Wilhelm introduced to the German powers, along with Mr. Wetzel, or however the fuck you say his name, that if we don't act fast, we're going to lose whatever leverage that we have. We're going to lose whatever opportunity we have to kill these people and steal their land. So Germany acted fast. So after they had established, okay, we gonna do this, they had entered an agreement, some type of agreement or something like that, saying that no one will fuck with European powers, countries, as long as they're only fucking with Africa. If you're not fucking with my African country, then we ain't gonna say shit to you. But once you fuck with my African country, that's when we gonna fuck with your African country. So that's what the German and leading European countries had come to an agreement about, is that just don't fuck with the Africans' lands that I stole, and I won't fuck with yours. Part of this agreement was to suppress and interdict the Arab slave trade. Now, a lot of people don't know that there was an Arab slave trade, and yes, this slave trade was brutal, gruesome, and it went on for a very long time. Very, very lucrative, and is part of the reason that a lot of the Middle East is even rich or has any money. The enslaved Africans came from cities like Morocco, through Egypt, and over to the Middle East. And the reason this was part of the agreement was because this left able-bodied Africans on the land so that they could kind of become free labor on the land, so that they can harvest the land and do whatever the fuck these Germans wanted them to do. And not only just labor, that they could rape them. A lot of women were raped. A lot of women were forced into trafficking. So it was just able bodies to do whatever you wanted to. So that was the reason that European powers put this into that agreement. This is going to be the end of part 2. I'm going to go into part 3. I think I only have like one more part to go. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, give me a follow. I do Black History. If I didn't add something or I messed up or something, put it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. In the meantime, thank you for watching.
I've never in my life heard of a black person getting grounded. Like, if you black watching this, I know for a fact you never been grounded in your life. I never been grounded in my life. But I bet we all been put on punishment, though. Like, I feel like they two different things. Like, I feel like getting grounded, like, yeah, man, I got grounded. It hit different when you be like, yeah, bro, I'm on punishment. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as a kid, like, your friends pull up, they asking if you would come outside. Oh, your mom, like, no, he on punishment right now. Like, that shit's different, bro. Or you gotta tell your friends, like, oh, I can't because I'm on punishment. Like, that shit just sound worse than being grounded. Like, oh, I'm grounded right now. Like, I'll be outside in a couple days. Like, nah, I'm on punishment. Like, that shit sound like you did something real bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm on punishment. Like, black people, man, we ain't get grounded, man. We got put on punishment, man. It's really the same shit, but it just sound worse. Like, I'm on punishment. Like, that just sound crazy. Like, damn. Like, sound like you just continuously getting punished on some shit. Like,
America, you need to do better. I just woke up from a nap, so pardon me, y'all. And I gotta say, you teachers better be grateful that I made it to college. I just read a quote, and it says, kids like him getting suspended or even expelled when tough circumstances prompt them to act out. You teachers were so quick with the disciplinary action, but never asked what was going on at home. Trust, I'm okay now. But not every little black girl has the same resilience that I did because they didn't have people giving them the second chances that I got. If you're a teacher, you need a whole lot more patience, a whole lot more diversity work, and honestly, maybe you need to have kids before you become a teacher. I have achieved so much as a high school and college student, and I wholeheartedly believe that you would not have known that I had failing grades before all of this. I thank the Lord that people believed in me because this could have went a complete different route.
I'm going to post it on TikTok. I have a lot of thousands of followers, and I'll let them know the uncomfortableness. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I'm not a nerd person. Okay, I'm sorry that, okay. Don't tell me to go away. I can stay anywhere I want. But you don't have to talk to me like that and tell me to go away. Okay. Okay, freaked out. I'm freaked out. Okay. 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 You don't have to tell me to go away. Okay. You came out and did point at my car. Okay. Okay. This place racist. Okay. It's going to go viral too. It's going to go viral too. It's going to go viral too. Thank you. Place right here. Do not eat here. Very racist. On Good Hope Road. Do not eat here. Racist.
Y'all don't do nothing else. Can y'all just not support that business? When I tell y'all, he made me feel so low, like as a black woman. I didn't even know racism was just still that high. I pulls up to his restaurant. It's the story time. It's about 6:16.
6:17, but I can't park on that street to about 6:30. So I just sat in my car, and I also waited till my phone to charge and cut on completely. So once it had cut on, it was about 6:20 something. So I still can't park right there. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let me just wait right here. Let me edit my video for Instagram, because I work out on my Instagram page. So I'm like, all right, let me edit this video so I can post it. This dude gets out his car because he pulls up about 3 minutes after me. And I noticed he parked. He pulled up in a white Audi. I noticed he parked. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not penning on I'm right here editing. I'm minding my business like he should have been. He walks in front of my car because, mind y'all, he parks 2-3 cars up from mine. He walks directly in front of my car and had the nerve to look all in my car from the front window, which I do not have a tent on. He comes back out the restaurant. Once he goes in the restaurant, about 5 minutes later, brings out a Caucasian guy, and he points at my car like something, and then yells out loud, yeah, that's nice. I'm like, that's the throw off. Like, you're trying to get him to keep an eye out on my car. So I go in there about, at this time I go in there, it's about 10-15 minutes after that occurred, because I'm like, all right, let me let him know something. Right, I did wrong person. Walking, he's like, oh, you know how to play tennis? And I'm like, oh, that's not why I came here. I came here because I just wanted to let you know, I don't have to do anything to your restaurant. I'm not here to harm your restaurant. I just wanted to see if I wanted to eat here while my phone charged. As soon as I say that, he just goes off immediately, like his guilty conscience goes off immediately. Like, he's like, ew, what are you talking about? I'm an educated such and such man. I went to this school. Just get the going, flowing on me. And I'm like, sir, do you know what school I go to? Do you know what I'm in school for? Do you even know how to, you probably don't even know how many bones there are, my nigga. Like, you don't even know some of the things that I know. So don't come for me. But I'm not saying all this to him. I'm keeping it professional. I'm like, well, you probably don't know what school I go to. But I do want to let you know that I do apologize for the way you feel. Once he started flowing on me again, I said, oh, let me record. He was like, do you think I care if you record? One black person ain't going to stop me from getting my money. I said, oh, I'm going to post it on my TikTok and it's going to go viral in Jesus' name. Because the way you talking to me and calling me black and ill and dumbing me down.
You know what? I'm so glad you left this comment, because I was actually in the middle of compiling a list of all the things that have been said to little black girls that are considered being fast. And would you know, wearing red nail polish or lipstick was my number one. All right, so yeah, red nail polish, red lipstick or red nail polish. And I think that also contributes to why there's so many black women who have an aversion to wearing the color, like wearing red lipstick or red nail polish. Like, it's been instilled in us from being young that, like, oh, harlots or whores or fast women, fast girls wear red lipstick, red nail polish. Acrylic nails or long fingernails. Wearing hoop earrings, especially if they're big hoop earrings. Crop tops or fitted clothing. Getting your hair straightened is considered grown when you're a certain age, because I guess like straight hair is reserved for white children. I don't know how straight hair doesn't look grown on white children, but it looks grown on black children. Also, under that same category, really long hair, or when they see kids with long braids, it's like, that's too long. My children have hair down to their backs, hair down to their ass. So I think a lot of times people see their hair and not realize that that is their hair length. Like, is long hair reserved for non-black children? I'm confused. But apparently long hair on black kids grown. Wearing heels. Okay. Dancing a certain way. Talking to boys or having male friends. Any interaction with boys is seen as suspicious or too fast. Playing in makeup. Wearing perfume. That means you're trying to attract unnecessary attention. Wanting to be independent or private. What you trying to hide? What you doing? Hanging out with your friends. Especially if it's a mixed group. Being outspoken or assertive, because speaking your mind is seen as disrespectful and inappropriate. Dating. Even age-appropriate relationships are considered grown. Once again, back to hairstyle. Let me see. Carrying a purse before a certain age. If you have an interest in relationships, even harmless. Any type of curiosity in wanting to date while you're trying to be grown. You being fast. Ooh, hair color. Any color in your hair. You trying to be grown? You trying to be fast? 2-piece bathing suits. Wearing something silky or satiny as apparently reserved for adults. Laughing or talking loudly in public because you're trying to get attention. Being friendly to strangers is always labeled as flirting. Another thing why people say like, oh, black women always walk around looking angry, because if you was little and you was polite and you talking, ha ha ha, why you smiling at man face? Why you smiling at grown man face? Crossing your legs at the knees. Listen, as a Jamaican, if you are a little girl and you cross your legs at the knees, y'all cut your 10, y'all big man. You think y'all big man? Chewing gum noticeably. Ooh, standing with your hand on your hip. Having a crush on like a celebrity. Being naturally confident or outgoing is misinterpreted as you're trying to get attention. So if you are a person that really cares about your appearance and you just think highly of yourself, you're clearly trying to get attention, and it's clearly a man's attention. Speaking in a certain tone. Oh, you trying to be grown. Who you think you're talking to? Being close to male family friends or cousins. And this one is like, oh, you can't be hanging out with your boy cousins like that, blah, blah. Or you can't be... Y'all know what I'm talking about. Being naturally attractive. You're pretty, you're fast. So if you've ever been called fast for anything I did not mention, put it down in the comments so we can see what the fuck people have been saying to little black girls. But I don't want to pretend as if black elders just made this up. We have to all understand that this did stem from, say it with me, slavery. A lot of these things stem from slavery. And I think the goal of our grandparents was to make us as unattractive or unappealing to either the slave owners or just like people who would do us harm. So I think the initial intention behind it was to, try to prevent other people from looking at us. So it's that thing that's like dim your light, basically, so no one can see you. So dim yourself down so no one will pay attention to you, and we can that's how we're going to keep you safe. And I think over the years, especially as things change and it came a little bit safer for us, and we are able to protect ourselves, it morphed into a weapon against us. So it was initially created to kind of keep us safe, and then over time it morphed into something to be used against us. And I think it's high time as black people we grow out, we get rid of it. We need to recognize it and get rid of it, because even in the video that I posted, talking about the young lady that said that she was calling herself fast and she was calling Nazaya fast, and it's like it's drilled into us that if you do any one of these things, you deserve if something bad happens to you. It's your fault. Even if you're a child, it's your fault. I have so much to say on when it comes to like this area and this topic, but anyway, that's all I got for now.
Why should we have to cut his hair?
That's right.
It's why? Like, really, why? His hair is not affecting his education. They have many mothers out here that's pushing, trying to get their kids to go to school.
That's right.
I have a son, 18 years old, that wants to go to school, that wants to get his education, and y'all messing with him. Why?
It's just been stressful. It's just been angering and frustrating, because why me out of everybody? in that school? Why me? Why am I the only person getting picked on? Why am I the only person that's sitting in that same room every day, all day?
I need you guys to take the time to read this comment. All the wrongful convictions that people are cleared from, why are Black people making up 60% of them if they are a minority? Why isn't this common knowledge? This is because of racial profiling. Police that racially profile. Racist white people accusing the wrong person of a crime. Police pressure during interrogations that make Black people confess to a crime that they did not commit. All white juries are more likely to wrongfully commit Black people. Black people are disproportionately affected by poverty, so they often need public defenders, which are underfunded. And then not to mention that Black people convicted of the same crime as somebody else have to generally do longer sentences. Imagine being wrongfully accused of a crime, you do time, and then you do some extra time for the fact that you are Black. Between the years of 1989 and 2022, the number of Black people that made up the exonerations was actually 53%, so it's increasing. The amount of exonerations is increasing for Black people, up 7% more. Why is this happening?
Imagine dedicating your life to nursing, showing up every day to care for patients, and instead of being valued, being humiliated and punished because of the color of your skin. So that was the reality for nurse Donquinique Yvonne Joppi at the Medical Center of Aurora in Colorado. When she applied for advanced cardiac training, a charge nurse told her she lacked the intelligence and organizational skills, then mocked her by saying she could clean his house and clip his dog's toenails. She was falsely accused of stealing a white patient's credit card to buy a stethoscope, and instead of investigating, the hospital restricted her from break rooms and locker rooms, treating her like a criminal. While her white peers managed 2 patients in the ICU, she was overloaded with 3, and when she spoke up about the unfair workload, she was retaliated against with a performance plan. Even her tone and body language were policed in ways her white co-workers never faced. But the worst came when she stayed overtime to help a colleague honor a dying patient's end-of-life wishes. Acting under a physician's verbal order relayed by staff, she helped remove a ventilator. The hospital didn't back her. They fired her, claimed she acted without authorization, and referred her for prosecution. She was dragged through the courts on manslaughter and neglect charges that were later dropped in the interest of justice. So this month, a federal jury finally saw the truth. They awarded her $20 million, finding that HCA Health One discriminated against her because of her race and retaliated when she tried to defend herself. This verdict is bigger than one nurse's story. It tells every hospital executive racism, retaliation, and scapegoating have consequences. And it tells every nurse, every tech, and every aide, you are not powerless. Her courage shows that even against a healthcare giant, justice can be won. Her fight is now a landmark, a reminder that dignity, respect, and equity are not optional in healthcare. They are a right.
Welcome back. If you don't know, you're going to be punished all because of your skin color, then I bet you've seen that one. And if you're somebody that is always arguing, no, it's not true, you Black people, you always have one thing to say about racism, then that video is for you. A lot of people are going through a lot, all because of their color. So many people are in prison, all because of their color. You can't rule this away from us. You can't rule it out at all. In our lifetime, you can't. It hasn't stopped. Some people are feeling okay because it's slavery, but we are off that time of slavery. What's happening right now? Why are people still being punished because of the way they look? Even in Asia, I am telling you, people are facing that thing. I could remember my brother telling me, oh, in Asia, your neighbor could actually meet you in the elevator and he'll be like this, or she'll be like this. Probably she's coming out from her flat and you're coming out from your own flat and she sees you, she'll be like, go, 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 go. That is how bad it is. A lot of people are being punished because of how they look. And it's really, really not fair because they are missing on a lot of good things. The black person is naturally a very sweet person. Forget, oh, whatever you see, oh, they were caught doing this, they were caught doing this crime. Sometimes they had to just do that based on, the society they are in and what is being thrown to them. But naturally, a black person is very hospitable and they love people. So that is it. We faced a lot about this, about being, the way we are. I want to hear your experience in the comments so I can come give you a hug. I love you so much. Do not forget to always share those videos, like them and comment. It's me, your friend Blessing, on Global Just with BJ. I'll be back with the parts. Bye.